Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am extremely excited to bring you guys my first why I'm buying video in a very long time. Now, if you've been following the market, the SPY, the Dow, etc., you may have noticed that we have been having an extremely hard time finding buyers here on the market, and a lot of your favorite names, your favorite stocks might have been down over the last few weeks, and there is a very good reason for all that happening. A lot of it has to do with the bond yields, a lot of it has to do with fear in the market, and a lot of it just has to do with people not knowing whether we are going to leave this COVID crisis safely or if we are going to have a slow and painful recovery. So all these things are weighing very heavily on the market, and you can see that a lot of your favorite names, like I'm explaining right now, are down at lows. And even though a lot of people or analysts might be saying, well, this stock is undervalued, this stock is a definite buy, a lot of these positions are not moving the way they have been in the past, and it's been very hard to find a breakout. So for those reasons, I have not been making a why I'm buying video, because I want to alert you guys only to the best possibilities here on the stock market, positions that can usually make around 40 to 50% return in the past, or that's what we usually expect with these why I'm buying videos. So right now I'm going to show you what I'm watching here for Plug Power, how exactly I'm going to be trading this stock, and why I think that there is so much potential here with this stock down at $39 a share. Now, like I just explained, there are going to be a lot of stocks this week on the market which are absolutely beat down and looking like they could recover, but it is going to be very, very important for you to find a position with actual potential here of a breakout. A lot of the stocks that did end up selling off were overvalued and were due for a sell-off, and for that reason, the market even hit them harder. Now, Plug Power was trading at a humongous multiple, but at the same time, I feel like their sell-off was a unique combination of not only downwards market pressure, but also an unfortunate piece of news that came out for this company immediately before the market sell-off, and that had to do with their financials and financial reporting. Now, they came out and said that some of their earnings data was incorrect for the last actual few years. So obviously this is not a one-time thing, and this has been an ongoing error with the company, something very embarrassing for any company, but especially companies that come out of Asia have had this problem for a very long time, and it is honestly very disappointing to see that Plug Power will now be in that group with a lot of other stocks that honestly have not made it very far. So even though they have seemed to basically made a bounce here and they seem like they could be recovering, there is a lot to really think about with this company, and you have to realize that this is going to be weighing on investors' minds for the next few weeks of trading time. So obviously, guys, right now we're looking for a great price to hop in at, and that's going to be where the technical analysis part of the equation comes in. But honestly, guys, I think that this is a stock where we might also be looking at a massive breakout setting up. So I want to show you exactly what levels I'm watching, where this breakout is going to happen, and how exactly you can know whether you should jump in, all in, or if you should wait. Now, as always, guys, these videos are made for a reason. I really do believe that there is a breakout happening, and as such, I have bought some monthly calls on Plug Power. If you want to know how those are or what exact calls I jumped in, make sure you check out the free Discord, which is going to be linked down below. And just today, guys, we actually made over 20% on SPY calls. So again, that's going to be the free Discord link down below, and there really isn't any reason you shouldn't check that out. So as always, guys, make sure you check that out and enjoy. But getting back to Plug Power, I think it's going to be important to zoom in here on the chart. Now, right now, our candles are all worth 1 hour, and what this means is that every candle you see on the chart is going to represent 1 hour of trading time. But now I'm going to zoom in on these candles and go on the 5-minute, because I want to identify a more clear pattern or a more clear time frame where this stock might actually be breaking out. So on the 1 hour is where we establish these purple boxes, anything with a big range for a breakout, where we don't have that necessary precision to really identify a breakout price, or we don't have that necessary precision to really jump out at a certain price. So with a stop loss, you really don't want to set it right under the trend. And that's why I put these purple boxes. So that way there is a range where I can know either I'm selling at this range or I'm buying at this range. And that way you don't have to be exactly perfect with your trades, but you can still get a very great price. But when I zoom in here to the 5-minute, I'm looking for an exact moment to hop in. And that's exactly what I want to show you guys with Plug Power. Now, obviously, this is the zoomed in version of the chart, like I've been saying. And right here is that minimum price that we were watching for a $35 test of the lows. And you can see that exactly Plug Power did bounce from the lows. But one of the worrying signs here for Plug Power, and the reason that I didn't jump in when they first came to 39, was that they were not able to break the 200 EMA. So if you've been with the channel in the past, you know that the 200 EMA, or this blue greenish line, basically shows us the long-term direction of a stock. So as long as a stock is above this line, it means that they are consistently growing. You can see that Plug was respecting this rule in the past as they were growing and growing, but now that they are below the 200 EMA, this means that they are basically selling off. And you can see that the market very much clearly showed us that Plug was not ready to go back into a growing direction. And that was around the 17th of this week. So obviously, guys, that was a few days ago. And now the market is showing us a different picture where Plug Power has easily ripped above the 200 EMA. And not only that, this is the part that made me extremely bullish. They came down, tested the 200 EMA, and held up in the upwards direction, which is ultimately a confirmation that people are ready to continue buying at this price. Now, guys, what I want you to watch for is going to be this 39.40 level, which is where you can see the trend failed last time. So that's exactly what we look for with these breakouts. Where did the trend fail last time? And if the trend is able to push through this time, then this means that a breakout is on the way. Now, two things to watch here, guys. Obviously, on this lower time frame, the 5-minute, we are above the 200 EMA, but you can see that when I switch to the 1-hour chart or back to the less zoomed in time frame that we were seeing, in the overall time frame, we are down below the 200 EMA and not looking like we are due for a test anytime soon. So obviously what this means is that on a shorter time frame, this stock is able to find strength and is growing here in periods, in certain small periods. You can see that they have bounced from 34 to 39 twice now, and that's obviously why we're seeing a test of the 200 EMA on that smaller time frame. But when we do come to these bigger time frames, the stock is not in an overall growing direction, and that's what we mainly want to keep in mind when we are trading this plug. So that's why I say that in the short term, this is going to be an absolutely smashing buy. And I think that if we can break above 39.30, that is the breakout area that I want you guys to keep an eye on. Then we will at least come up to this 200 EMA, which is the $43 a share range. So around $43 a share to $44 a share is where I will look to start at least taking some initial profits. But if we can break through this level, then that will ultimately show us that we are growing. And not only at a shorter time frame are we above the 200 EMA, but if we can break above the 200 EMA here on the 1-hour chart, then that will be extremely bullish, and we will probably be heading back around to the $50 a share or even $60 a share if we do catch that break. Now, guys, when we trade these breakouts, there are a few key things that you need to keep in mind and that you need to know as a trader in order to trade this properly and in order to protect yourself from the risks that are involved with trading a breakout. Now, guys, it is always great to just show you these great ideas and basically tell you that it is the perfect trade, etc. But at the end of the day, the market is never perfect, and sometimes what we expect to happen isn't exactly what produces itself on the chart. So I do want to show you exactly what my scenario is for a failure of a breakout and what you should watch with this Plug Power stock, because if we do get a rejection here at this breakout level, that will just mean that we will come back here to the minimum and it will show us another great time to buy, like what we do with every single other stock that I show you guys. So obviously right now Plug Power is having some lower volume, and that's part of what I always tell you guys. Volume is going to be that key that allows us to see when other likewise traders are jumping in and are buying the price up even when the stock is increasing. So when we see that massive volume, even when a stock price is going up, that is going to show us that we are on the right trade and that people are thinking the same thing we are thinking. Right now, you can see that Plug isn't really having that massive volume we look for, but this doesn't mean that a breakout isn't going to happen today. However, it does make it very likely that we might see a rejection at the 39.40 level I was talking about, or near that level like what you can see is happening right now. Now, obviously, that does not mean that Plug is getting rejected at this level and that they will not have a breakout. And for that reason, I'm still holding on to my monthly contracts and my share position on Plug Power. But ultimately, what I'm going to be watching for is whether or not they break back down to that 34.90 or 34.50, which we have marked here on the chart as a great buying zone. And in that case, I'll just add to my position some more and then hope that the breakout happens the next time we come to 39.30, because that will continue being the breakout level until the stock breaks that level. Now, guys, just to recap, you're going to want to keep your eye here on the volume. A break above 39.40 would be that confirmation that we're going above this breakout level and that we are ready to move higher and higher. But obviously, there needs to be volume there and buying to hold that price up. So a break up in the volume as well as a break up in the price will show us some great signs that this stock is ready to move upwards and that we are getting a confirmation of this breakout. But ultimately, we don't need the volume to break out. And if there is no volume and this stock does move to the upwards direction, I would not be surprised. So keep an eye on what's happening with Plug. And I think that there are going to be a lot of other great opportunities like this company over the next few days. So make sure you're keeping your eye on companies that not only had a sell-off, but also may have had some piece of news that didn't necessarily affect their core business, but still put the stock into a negative direction in order to find some of these great bouncing ideas like Plug Power. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video or if you learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Check out our links in the description. There's going to be the link to the free Discord, as well as the link here to TradingView, which is the platform you've seen me trade on today and do all my technical analysis on daily. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed those, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope all your plays are in the green.